Okay, an update on the second 800XL. You can see label from last video. It's indeed the same one. And as you can tell, I've been doing some stuff with it. First thing I had to do is, actually the old footage was from a few months ago soon after I got it, but I had been cleaning out this keyboard, which had been in here for many years. And it did work when I got it, but after cleaning it up, and after I'd had it in the other room for a while, the keyboard went dead, except for a few of these function keys up here. Well, I call them function keys. Some call them console keys. Anyways, these were the only keys that worked, and it's not one of the keys that has the membrane, or the usual sort of membrane. It's one of the less common ones that replacing, since it doesn't have the membrane, replacing the membrane doesn't work. But anyways, as you can see, I did get a new keyboard for it, which I had got from Best Electronics, which, as you can see, has one of their longer ribbons here or a longer extension to plug into right there. Anyways, get that out of the way. As you might be noticing, just on the edge of the frame there, I've been doing some other work. Namely, I've got these RAMs socketed, which they hadn't been previously, and I built a replica of the Rambo XL2, which was designed by Mytek some time ago, that's what I'm currently trying to do. The unfinished one looks like this, and I may actually put some of these up for sale somewhere. That is an Evil Bay, if I can get these to work at some point. I previously tried with some of these other boards. On the left here is one that's partly populated. And of course this one is a much smaller design, and I can't write. I think it's called the Quarter Meg. Yeah, it is the Quarter Meg. And both of these boards, the Rambo and the Quarter Meg, plug into, on the 800XL, it's on U27. Which was right there, which I've now put in. Let's see, yeah, that's the original Fairchild 74LS158 from the board. There's another one, U26 here, but the U27 is what's used. And anyways, it also has a, as you can see, it goes up to jumper D there, goes up to the resistor R32, which connects to pin 1 on all the RAMs, which is address line 8, the 4156s. These are the 120 nanoseconds I got, which they don't have a manufacturer logo on them. I don't know who built these particular set, but I ordered these through Evil Bay from a seller in Bulgaria, who, as far as I can tell, is a decent seller. And I forget the person's ID, Retro somebody. I forget what ID they used. My apologies for that. But anyways, it also connects up to pins 12 through 16 on the PAA. Now the reason I'm not showing you this, and of course the other thing this has as well, is you can see 3 jumpers there and 3 other pins for connecting up to the computer. Now the first 2, A and B, the first 2, these 2 here, are only used on the 1200 XL. The next one, C, right there, is, anyways, that is for the older version of the Antic chip, which ends, the part number ends in a 6. Mine's the one that ends in a 7. The one that ends in a 6 would have a lead that connects right up to there. And some of these jumpers are different. For one of them, I think it might be J3. I think it's this one, but I may be wrong. I may have forgotten. This is for the older version of the Antic, and the other 2 are for the 1200 XL, which has other jumpers that go to a couple other spots. And I don't have a 1200 XL, so I ain't doing that. But anyways, this version here doesn't have these 2 ICs or any of the jumpers, so it should only work with the 800 XL, not the 1200 XL, and as far as I can tell, if it works at all, it would only work with the newer Antic chip, the one that ends with a 7. And as you can see, some of those flying leads are coming off but anyways, the reason I'm not showing you this in operating condition yet is because I haven't gotten it working yet. Now I have replaced the 74 LS158 back in the socket and tried it with both the original RAMs that were in there and the 71, or the 41, excuse me, forgetting my part numbers tonight, the 41256s. Without this in place, the computer starts up normally, and the symptoms I'm getting with this mounted in place are that the computer will either start up, go directly to the self-test mode for the memory test, and it'll either show the ROMs as bad or not there at all, and it'll just check through the first 16K of RAM, and either just lock up or crash when it hits 16K, or just do nothing, it'll boot up to a black screen. And the other problem I'm having is if I plug anything into the SIO port, when it does boot up, the computer will just lock up. And my last attempt, it would keep initially the drive, my floppy drives would, both of them 1050s, would keep reinitializing over and over again every second or so. And if I used a cartridge, it might run for a second or so, second or two, and then crash, no matter what cartridge. So something is acting very screwy. What I think, probably the addressing, maybe the data bus, but I'm suspecting the addressing, including any addressing related probably to the 6520 and it communicating with the SIO port. Well, it could be addressing or data bus, either one equally. At this point I have to do some more checking. But anyways, that's the update for tonight. And I'll do another video when I get more figured out, and hopefully I'll get this upgrade working, and I'll let you know when I do. So bye for now.